Good morning, everybody. This is Sunday, I believe the 11th. And forget the lawn in progress sign with the ladder sitting in the back. We now have almost an arbor. It is just about completed. Karen and I, a little tricky, but Karen and I put the two joists that you see there. They are 18 feet long. They are joined in the middle by a spline. I don't know if you can see it, but it's held together by 8, 4 on each side, 8 bolts. I think they call them hex lag screws, with a recessed washer and nut on this side, which will be covered up by a beautiful piece of cedar, so you can't see that. But the bottom line is, it is now up and stable, and believe it or not, from that side to that side, the total difference of measurements is 3/16 of an inch. And I think for a bunch of amateurs, that's pretty darn good. Everything is very nicely plumb and level. And even, you can probably see the distance between the two joists. As you can see, there's no one side is higher than the other. I put the level on it yesterday, and boy oh boy, it is right in the middle of the bubble. Each joist at the top is screwed in with timber lock. Has a new screw for ledger boards, which is about 50% thicker than your normal timber screw, and there's 4 of them plus a centering screw that held it in place. And you can see my nice little detail. That's called a portal, and it actually looks like the front end of an eye of a shark. But that's the long and the short of it. And we had a little bit of difficulty, although I'll back this thing off. We had a little difficulty. We had everything up, and Karen turns around and her eagle eye noticed that the far, as you can see over here, the far joist was about 1 inch too far to what you're seeing here to the right. So we took everything apart, just that one, and slid it over, clamps, screw, and it is right on the money. 12 inches overhang total. So the bottom line is the gazebo, pardon me, got gazebo on the mind. The arbor is pretty much ready for all of the joists, which I have in the van. I measured from one joist to the other, and they're 44 7/8 inches on the left hand side, and 44 7/8 inches inside dimension. So at least I know that the boards are consistent, and the 2 end panels are exactly the same width. Of course they were. So anyhow, the bottom line is we're going to take home all of the joists, pardon me, the rafters, and there are 18 of them. Going to cut a 1.5 inch notch with my dado blade on my beautiful Hitachi table saw, and then stain those. I won't cut the second one, although I probably could. I'm going to bring that here and make sure that that lines up just perfectly. There's a slight bow to the middle of the what's called the south joist, the one furthest away on the bottom of the picture here. There's a slight bow to it, which is typical, but I'll take that out by putting a stabilizing center rafter to make sure that the center of it is exactly 44 7/8 inches from north joist to south joist, and that makes the rest of the installation go a lot simpler. You don't have to fuss around with boards that are warped or anything. But hopefully that thing will work. We were a little concerned about that brace right in the middle, but it's so strong, and the wood is all treated, and it's rock hard and sanded and stained. It should hold for quite a while. I may even consider putting in perhaps a little extra support on the inside. In fact, I'll get away from the sun, the haze, but you can see that one right there. And I might add a metal bar to the right of that, and another metal bar to the left of that, just to prevent, all I have to do is screw it in, you won't even see it, and that'll prevent any little sag that the timber would want to suffer from. So there you go. There's the recessed, I don't know if you can see them that well. You can zoom in here. There are the recessed 8 bolts, 4 on one side of the split, 4 on the other. and those will be covered up, stained and covered up with that piece of cedar that we're going to make. Really very pretty. So anyhow, here is the better detail of the, there you go. I don't know what they call that, but just a 1.5, or pardon me, a 2-inch hole and a nice carving on the right hand side, and you can see the 4, there they are. You can see all 4. Those go all the way through the 4x4 post, and I don't think they're going to go anywhere, folks. Trust me, they are in there for good. So other than putting concrete, and I'll come down a little bit, other than putting in concrete into the holes, which are still bare, but we're pretty much done. I've got a little touch-up stains to do, and we should be good to go. And luckily, it should not catch any wind. I'm not sure, you know, I was a little bit concerned that the thing might blow over, but with the concrete on the bottom, we might add a couple of more pieces of support, but I doubt it's going to need it. They're 18 inches into the ground, and overall I think that should give us enough stability. But there is the arbor, and I'll take some additional pictures. In fact, I'll back up. You can see the van, and there's the full effect of the arbor. So from Woodwind Acres in Zolfo Springs on Bronco Drive, have a good Sunday. Bye.